This is Jayden Boero, and you're listening to Line for Line Podcast.
Look, the biggest podcast where you can learn them lessons. Line for line where you can learn from different sections. Made it out the mud, come tell your story, blessings. Never know who listening, never know who stressing. Devon gave you a voice, come speak your honest truth. Line for line, go bar for bar, it's up to you. Wanna talk sports, gov, and politics? Wanna talk about where you from and your accomplishments? Then Line for Line is really where you need to be. A platform that's really made for folks like you and me. You can find it all no matter what you seek. Whether you calling or you listening, tune in every week.
All right, just like that, we're back in another episode of Line for Line. Very special guest in the building. I'll go ahead and let him introduce himself to the world.
I'm Jayden Boero. I play football at the University of Wisconsin-Stout. Yeah, that's it.
Tell us a little bit about where you grew up, where you're from, what you're repping.
I'm from Kenosha. I was born and raised here. So now my family lives out in Burlington.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm living up in Menominee for the most part.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's up north, yeah. Up north of Kenosha, obviously, yeah. How you liking it out there?
It's nice, small town, so.
Yeah. What was Kenosha like for you growing up?
It was cool.
Yeah.
Made a lot of friends, played sports obviously until now. And yeah, so I know a lot of people through that, and then, everything's been great.
Yes, sir. How'd you get into football?
So actually when I was real little, I had this ball. It was a Packer ball, and me and my grandpa would always play catch with it. And then once I was able to, I think I was 4 or 5, started playing football.
Nice. And what position do you play now?
Quarterback.
Whoa. Did you went to jumper?
Yeah.
Did you play quarterback at jumper?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what that was like for you, my guy. Being the quarterback, you're obviously the star everywhere you go. Just tell us a little bit about that, sir.
Yeah, so before I went to Tremper, I actually went to Indian Trail, so I was playing there for a little bit. My family ended up moving to the south side of Kenosha, and so I transferred over to Tremper, and then, I wasn't really sure how it was going to work out because the whole transfer rules and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, once I got there, we figured everything out where I could play. And, yeah, I mean, it was cool. I got to know a lot of people through, obviously, football.
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of people would start coming up to me like, hey, good game, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was cool making friends like that. And
who would you say your favorite quarterback of all time is?
my favorite, probably Aaron Rodgers, just because of how he is. His arm is insane. He can make whatever throw he wants.
Uh-huh. Now, is there anyone out there that you could say you maybe model your game after, or your game kind of reminds people of? Who do you say it is?
So when I went to college, when the off season came, we all had evaluations and everything, and my coach told me to study Kyler Murray.
No way.
Yeah, because he thought that's who I played most like.
Yeah. So
yeah.
you're very active getting out of the pocket, huh?
Yeah, I've always been like that. Ever since I was little.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the best play that you would think that you've made in your football career as a quarterback.
Best play I've ever made was probably my senior year against Case. It was a tie game or something like that, and we had an option called. It was a jet motion, so the slot receiver comes in motion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading the DN, and I pull it, and I ended up going for I think it was a 50-yard run to seal the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was probably the most memorable and probably my favorite.
Let's go. Let's go. Would you say you ever threw a pick and you hawked the guy down and made the tackle to stop him?
Yeah, definitely.
Or is picks out of your vocabulary?
Nah, it happens to everyone, so I got a couple. Yeah. I played defense until my sophomore year of high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was actually a really good tackler. I still am.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it was against Antioch. It was a non-conference game. I threw one. As soon as it came off my hands, I knew it was going to be a pick.
What, for real?
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh.
And I ended up going and tackling one guy, and he only got to 20 yards or something like that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's what's up. So what do you think you would have to improve on the most as you get ready for your next season of football?
Definitely just being more of a leader, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Being more, vocal. Being able to command guys, tell them where they got to be if they don't know. Because that happens from time to time.
That's it.
But, yeah, that's probably the biggest thing.
Now, what type of guy would you say you are on the sidelines over there, whether you're losing, winning? What type of character are you?
I'm always the guy just trying to keep people up, make sure everyone's still in the game. especially if we're down, because it's easy to kind of be like, oh, you know, this game sucks, whatever. So just making sure everyone's kind of in the game, you know, doing everything they can to win.
Yes, sir. Now, what will be some things that you're telling your team, like, as you're down, trailing, whatever the case may be?
Just play with pride, you know, because, like, if you're not fully committed to, like, a game or anything in life, you can always, like, try and make positives out of it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're down, I might be like, yo, like, let's, like, put some big plays together, you know, maybe score some more points so that come playoff time, if points are, you know, deciding who's going to make the playoffs, who's not, then we have that extra edge.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yes, sir.
yeah, just trying to keep positive, I guess.
Let's go. Now, has there ever been a time where you maybe weren't feeling football or anything like that, and you had to just reevaluate?
There's definitely been some times, you know, like, I would go home after, like, a loss, I'd be like, man, like, maybe this isn't for me, but then just waking up the next day and being like, yo, I gotta stick with this, like, especially if I want to play in college. Because,
Yes,
like, college is a bigger commitment than high school, obviously, because, you know, you're there, you're playing football, but more importantly, you're getting your degree.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta be, like, really, like, committed to it to finish it, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, what would be the best piece of motivation that you've ever got throughout your time playing football? And who was it from?
Probably my dad. My dad coached me until high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he always told me, like, just keep going, like, you're doing good things, like, in middle school. I was obviously pretty good, you know, I kept playing. So he just, every day, just told me, like, yo, you gotta keep going, work hard, and just be dedicated to it.
Yes, sir. Now, what would be the piece of advice that you would give to the young man who wants to pursue a career in football?
Just go all out, you know, whether it be practice, film, games, working out. You gotta treat everything as if it's the last time you're gonna do it. So, like, give everything you got.
Yes, sir. Has there ever been a time in your career where you weren't the starter and you had to work your way up to earn a starting role?
Yes, actually. My freshman year, I came in, you know, obviously we got people coming in from different schools all over the place, so I came in, there was a guy that actually I played against, and, you know, obviously there's controversy who should play, who shouldn't, and then by the start of the season, I actually ended up being the starter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much hard work went into that?
It was a daily thing, you know, like I was always in the gym working out, going after practice, throwing with receivers, stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, tell us a little bit about the relationship that you have to have with your receivers in order to be on the same page when it comes to game day.
Yeah, so me and my receivers are they're some of my closest friends. Alex Jarvis, he plays at Carthage College now. We grew up together since we were probably 13,
Mm-hmm.
and so we played middle school into high school, and then that's my guy. Like, he'll always be my guy just because we're so close on the field and off the field.
Mm-hmm. That being said, young man, before we close out, is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to that maybe helped you along the way or anything like that?
My dad, for sure. You know, obviously he's been pushing me all these years. My grandpa, he's always been a big supporter of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then just all my guys up at Stout.
Yes, sir. That being said, young man, we should wrap up an amazing episode of Line for Line. We definitely appreciate you stopping by, sir.
For sure. Appreciate it.
You calling or you listening, tune in every week. Line for line.